On November 23, 2021, the unconscious body of Christy Giles was left outside a Southern California hospital in Culver City. Security footage captured her lifeless body being left by a group of men who hid their identities with bandanas. The men pulled up to the hospital and drove off in a black car without a license plate. However, from the video, it was determined that the vehicle was a Prius. 2 hours later, at a different LA hospital, the unconscious body of Hilda Marcela Cabralles Arzola was dropped off outside by the same vehicle with no license plate. Christy was pronounced dead at the scene. Hilda, on the other hand, was still alive. However, she was unconscious. Ultimately, she would never regain consciousness and was taken off life support on November 24th, 2021. Toxicology reports later determined that both women had ingested a lethal dose of heroin. Now, who were these women? Well, Christy Giles was a 24-year-old model and an inspiring actress. The other woman was 26-year-old Hilda, who was an inspiring architect student and had just moved to the United States from Mexico 6 months earlier. And it wasn't a coincidence that both women turned up at different hospitals 2 hours apart. Why? Because the women were actually really close friends. The night before, the two women, along with another woman, went for a night out. The three women started their night at a Soho House, which is a social club in West Hollywood area. Eventually, the women ended up at a warehouse party in Los Angeles. Video footage shows the women dancing at the warehouse party. At some point, they ended up meeting David Pierce, who was 37, and two other men, Brandon Osborne, who was 42, and Michael Ansbash, who was 47. In images that were later discovered, Hilda can be seen posing with David at an after-hours warehouse party in downtown LA on November 13th. Another image shows her posing with Michael at the same party. At some point during the night, the third woman who was with him left the party, which is likely a decision that saved her life. It's not clear what time Christy and Hilda left the warehouse party. However, the two girls, along with the men, left the party, maybe with the plan to go to another party. The men drove and ultimately ended up at David's apartment at around 5 a.m., maybe sensing something was off. The two women were ready to leave the apartment. Christy sent a text message to Hilda saying, "Let's go," with a shocked face emoji. Hilda replied, "Yes, I'll call the Uber." Then the next message said, "It's 10 minutes away." However, the women never got into the Uber. This was the last time they would text. 12 hours later, their bodies would turn up outside the hospitals. As investigators looked into the men, it was determined that all three men had ties to the entertainment industry. According to the Internet Movie Database, or IMDb, Michael has worked as a cinematographer and camera operator on dozens of Hollywood sets. As a camera operator, Brandon was an actor from Staten Island and also working in the sound department, according to IMDb. David is listed as a LA producer and a party promoter. 5 days after the incident, a reporter ended up driving by David's residence and observed a black Prius with California license plates, which was hidden in a half-closed garage. On December 13th, the three men were arrested. David was charged with manslaughter, and his bail was set at $1 million. Brandon and Michael were charged with accessory to manslaughter. Each were being held at a $100,000 bail. After the arrest of the individuals, Christy's husband came forward asking the public to come forward about any encounters or any people who were affected by these men. A couple, husband and wife, David and Alex, came forward to authorities after Brandon confessed to them about the incident. Since this incident, sexually assaulted victims have come forward with allegations against David from 2010, 2019, and 2020. This led the judge to increase his bail to $3.4 million. He also went in front of the judge on January 31st, 2022 to request his bail be reduced and also entered a not guilty plea in the previous sexual assault cases. His request was denied because investigators found $30,000 in cash and a passport in his car when he was arrested. Also, the judge said that David engaged in violence and was a serial rapist and posed a threat to society. The other two men were being held on a $1,000 bond and have since been released. However, no charges have been filed against any of the men with regards to this case, and investigators say the case is ongoing. So, my opinion, I think these guys are predators. I believe they think that since they're in the entertainment industry, they can do as they please. They prey on young, aspiring actresses, models, and they probably use their association with the entertainment industry to prey on them. Pretty pathetic. Definitely a sad case. Two young women that went for a night out to have some girl fun and ended up dead. Alright, you guys, well, be safe, and until next time, bye.